Hello and welcome to Educating Spokane. I'm Kevin Morrison and I'll be your moderator for the evening. Tonight we're going to take a look at the recent passage of the 2015 school construction bond, what it means for the community, what projects are on the horizon, and what's being planned for a few years down the road. We'll also discuss the state's testing that's happening right now in our schools and some changes coming to our district in the 2015-16 school year. Of course, we'll also be taking your questions. Call the number on your screen, send us an email, or text us at es@ksps.org. Please share your name and phone number with our phone volunteer in case we don't have time to address your question during the show opening. Our guests from the Spokane Public Schools Board of Directors are Board President, Dr. Jeff Bierman. Hi, Jeff. Board Vice President, Director Sue Chapin. Hi, Sue.
Hello, Kevin.
Director Rocky Treppiedi.
Hi, Kevin.
Good evening. And from Spokane Public Schools Superintendent, Dr. Shelley Redinger.
Good evening.
Hi, Shelley. Thank you all for being here. Dr. Redinger, before we look at the specific projects that are going to be happening, made possible by the bond, what is the overall picture of the bond as far as this 25-year plan that we've always been talking about?
Well, it's really a good idea, and our board has done a wonderful job of looking out long-term rather than just making 2-year, 5-year incremental plans. And so really we look out over a 25-year period, updating it as we go, because needs do change, educational focus areas change, and it really helps us plan and make sure we're budgeting appropriately. Also, as we're really trying to keep the tax rate flat, it's real important that we prioritize projects as we go.
Great. So let's talk about what's exactly in store. With voter approval of this $145 million bond, the state's going to match approximately $25 million. And we're going to also have some savings from the 2009 bond, I understand. So we've got a total of $205 million of proposed projects. So Director Bierman, what's coming first and what's on the list and what's following? So what should people start seeing in construction across the city?
Well, probably thinking about some of the major projects, the big ones. There'll be small projects in every school and technology projects and such, but some of the big ones are ones that we're already ready to go on. Salk Middle School in particular, we've already done the gymnasium there. The whole campus had been planned, and so that building's ready to start work. That'll be an early one, along with North Central Commons. Again, work had been planned already because of some of the work that had been going on at North Central, ready to link up a couple of the old building to some of the new science building that's already been built. I think Franklin Elementary is an early project as well. Sue will be happy. Sue went to Franklin Elementary.
I did.
As did my kids. And then, so I think those are some of the early ones. And then we'll see some other projects starting a couple years out. An addition at Lewis and Clark, more classroom space for a school that could use some more classroom space for all the students that are there. Shaw Middle School is also going to be getting work started there. And then some elementary, some work at Adams, additions at Wilson, Linwood Elementary, I think is being redone. There'll be a lot of projects at some elementary schools, I think, trying to get more space to allow us to meet the smaller class sizes for those K through 3 and possibly K through 4 grade levels. So
people are seeing work pretty much all over the city, north, south, east, west.
Yeah.
You're going to be seeing that. Director Chapin, how were these projects ever, in the mix of the 54 sites that the school district has, how did these land on the list?
How did they float to the top?
How did they float to the top or land on the list, either one?
Well, it's because of our long-range planning. We did a very careful survey of each and every building in the district and looked where there was the greatest need for physical upgrades or total redo. Also looked at the changing populations in the neighborhood to see where more classroom space was needed. Looked at just the various things we needed to do for grade configuration too around the city. And we also wanted to make sure that we were investing the bond money fairly across the district and not just focusing on one specific neighborhood, but making sure that the taxpayers of Spokane saw their money being put to use in their own neighborhoods.
Great.
And it's important to point out too that we did the thought exchange process
Yes.
in leading up to the bond and got so much feedback from a much broader cross section of our community than we've gotten in the past. And I think it really did help us out. We got a good message that the community wanted us to focus projects towards educational
Exactly.
needs in the schools and not on some other things. So that's what our plan now entails.
Yeah, one of the items that was being proposed, we asked people to consider was about Joe Albee. What should we do with Joe Albee? And we heard really a lot of feedback. Focus on the classroom.
Yeah. When you say community, about 75% of the voters do not have children in the schools.
Right.
So the voters include many, many folks who see the schools, might utilize those facilities in some way or another, but not necessarily for educational purposes. So it was important to, through the thought exchange, find out from them as well. We know through our internal surveys what we think we need from the educational standpoint. The community has a very strong voice as well.
Right, and one of those items also, I think, Director Treppiedi, was the safety and security in the thought exchange.
Sure.
That rose to the top too. What are we be doing safety and security-wise in our schools?
Well, in all of our schools, what it really means is we're going to be looking at a variety of combination of construction, hardware, as well as technology. So in terms of construction, we're looking at a single point of entry from a security standpoint at each of our buildings. That's a critical, if you talk to law enforcement or security professionals, that's one of the things that comes right to the top in terms of priority. Make sure you have a single point of entry. Technology, we're bringing in many more cameras so that each general office will be able to see what's going on the periphery of the building as well as internally, see who's coming to that single point of entry, for example. By way of hardware, we're retooling the entry. So we're going to a keyless entry, so instead of the old manual key, there'll be more sophisticated electronic cards and entry that way, as well as internal hardware within the classrooms so that a teacher can lock down their classroom to prevent an intruder, if one ever got into the building, from getting into their classroom. That's a change from the way buildings had been set up. So all of that takes time, but it really takes an awful lot of money, which the voters have supported, through the bond issue.
And some of that is just retrofitting some of our existing sites that, aren't part of a major construction project. Any project since 2003 or 2009 in those bond cycles have a lot of those features built into them already.
Right.
Great. A lot of work ahead. But it'll bring some big improvements for students, staff, and the community. And viewers can track the progress of these construction projects at spokaneschools.org/construction. Moving on to what's happening in schools across the district right now. The students may not all like it, but state testing. So Dr. Redinger, please give us an overview. There's a new test being done in Washington State, Smarter Balance.
Correct.
Can you give us kind of an overview of that?
Yes, about 27 states are part of a consortium, and so they're sharing, utilizing the same test. It's called the Smarter Balanced Assessment. And what the focus is to make sure that we can gauge whether our students are on track to be college and career ready. So the standards are much more rigorous, and they are now our state standards. And it really has, it's raising the bar, and it will give us a new baseline. We do expect that our new baseline will be a little bit lower than where we are now, but they wouldn't be new rigorous standards if we met them right away. And so we do think it will take a few years to make sure that where our students are all on grade level. But we do think it's good, and it's good for our country that we're having more rigorous standards.
So, and you hit upon this somewhat, but and I know that it's been a concern of some of the board members as the district transitions to these new tests. Director Chapin, what are parents going to be seeing?
Well, it may be different than what they've seen in the past. If they're used to students, their own students receiving 98, 99%, it might not be that. But we're all going to learn together, because until we actually do go through a cycle of this testing, we can't always predict what it's going to look like.
There's always the fear of, are we teaching to the test? Well, obviously we should be, and that's the point. If our students are not doing well enough on the test, we have to make sure we're teaching the curriculum, that we're providing them the resources, that the teachers are getting the training they need, that the students have the materials they need. and then learn. I mean, as long as the test is fair and is testing what it is that we should be teaching, there shouldn't be a problem.
Right.
Right. And along those lines, Director Treppiedi, we're not the only ones rolling out this particular test or testing across the nation.
No, it's a national effort right now. There are two basic tests that are being utilized. We're using the Smarter Balanced approach in Washington.
And it is going to be a very different kind of test than what we've been using before, right? I mean, everything's going to be online. It's going to be what's called an adaptive test that changes the questions based on answers that students are giving. So it's, I mean, it's a very different approach. It'll be something new for us, and we'll see how it goes. We've already put in a lot of infrastructure because of the nature of the online tests. So making sure that we have the resources in schools to be able to allow them to get the testing done during the time windows when we need to, and be able to get it done effectively and as efficiently as possible, so it's taking as little out of the instructional time of the school year as we can, because that's a concern that we've heard from families, from teachers, from everyone, is we don't want too much testing that's taking away from the time they have to teach kids.
And one of the benefits should be we'll get results much more quickly than we have in the past. So the teachers will be able to use the results with the kids that they still have in the classroom.
As an example,
Yeah.
on what Sue was just saying, remember the Wassel test? I mean, that was the
Yes.
big thing
Oh, sure.
a few years ago. Well, the student would take the test in the spring, and the results wouldn't come back till the fall. Well, the teacher that was with the student in the spring didn't get the feedback that they needed in order to work with the student to do any better. So it was,
Right.
without that close feedback, that almost instant feedback, the test can almost be useless. So it's important to have that feature built in.
And even more so, I think, in a school district such as ours, where the mobility rate can be 30–40% of new students coming in through the course of a year. So that's great. Thank you all. And starting with the 2015 school year, the school day will be 30 minutes longer for elementary school students. That's
For
elementary school students. Thank you for clarifying.
No, you said that, but I just wanted to emphasize.
Director Bierman, I understand the board studied this issue extensively for quite a while. Tell us what you discovered and why the decision was made.
Right. Well, one of the key things we found out for sure is that we didn't have enough time for our elementary kids in schools. Comparing Washington State with the nation and comparing our school district within the state, our kids weren't getting as much time with teachers as other districts. And some of the content areas, I mean, we looked at time spent by content area, and in particular areas like science and social studies stood out quite a bit as being undercovered. And so that was one of the rationale for getting more time back. We are, as Dr. Redinger said, moving towards new standards that are having tests with higher expectations for students, and we want them to be able to succeed and meet those expectations, and that means more quality instructional time with quality teachers. So that's the move that we've made.
And 30 minutes may not sound like much, but over the course of a school year, that's more than 3 weeks. It's literally 16 full days of instruction, at least, that the students will be getting. So by having that 30 days, each day, that's 2.5 hours a week, as you can see, as you go through the school year. So that's an awful lot of time that in one way the students had not been receiving, but now we're ensuring that they will get that as of next September.
Great. And I understand that there was also a bus transportation scheduling issue as part of this component. So Director Treppiedi, if I may ask you, how will the new schedule affect bus transportation overall?
Well, there were two separate issues that blended together in terms of we needed to resolve some busing issues in terms of efficiencies and scheduling. And we also, I mean, the 30 minutes per day in elementary school was something that needed to be done from an educational standpoint. The timing on it was such that we were able to solve both problems, attack both problems, and get them on board for September. So part of what we've done is modify the schedule for the school day so that high schools will still start at 8 a.m. Elementaries will move back, instead of starting at 9, they'll now be starting at 8:30. And then middle schools will still start at 9. What happens, with the busing, we are now going to add a few additional routes. We're going to make, as a result of all the studies and figuring out, so what's the best way of approaching all this, we're finally able to eliminate the 30 to 45 minute wait that middle school students had at the end of the day. That was a waste for teachers and administrators to have to literally wait with children, for example, in a gym and bleachers, just for the bus to arrive. So now it's much more efficient. Students will be transported when school ends. We won't have teachers and administrators waiting around. And kids will be getting to school on time. What else am I missing?
No,
here? I
you-
mean,
that's
there's
good.
lots of
Even
Lot of
better
good
than on time, I think on arrival, we were having situations where sometimes kids were just barely getting to school on time and not able to take advantage of some of the other things at that school that other kids are doing, breakfasts that were being provided or interacting with other kids early on. So the system is supposed to be set up now so that we're getting kids not just to school on time, but along with all the other kids so that they're doing the same things that everyone else
So
is.
here's a point that we did miss, or at least I missed. In addition to that basic transportation that we just described, we've also been studying whether or not we can provide more transportation for the children in some of our option programs. So that's still before the board. We're literally poised to take action on that within the next board meeting or two, so that additional transportation resources may be available for students who may not be going to their own neighborhood school, but for example, might be going to a Montessori program, an Apple program, the IST. I mean, whatever other programs that we have within the district where a student has special transportation needs. So that's still in the works, but it's all part of the big program.
Sounds, it sounds almost too good to be true. I mean, it sounds like a win-win to us, but we're in education. So, Director Chapin, what are you hearing on the street? What are parents saying to you?
Oh, I'm actually getting a lot of comments, and they're positive. As a matter of fact, today at work, someone stopped me and told me how pleased they were that the elementary school day was longer. And I've had other people ask, why? Why do you want to add time to the school day? And so I think as long as people understand why we're adding time to the school day, and it was really something that should have happened years ago, to make sure kids had enough time with teachers. But overall, the comments are very positive.
I think that what I've heard, I know, is when people start looking across the United States at school start times, and they start seeing some that are an hour even earlier than our school elementary times frequently. It's, I think that helps drive that point home.
It's one of those things where everybody adjusts. Does it matter whether it's 8:40 or 8:30? Not really.
No.
How many minutes per day the kid is in school really, though, is important. So what we've done is make sure that we're providing the time that the child is in school, and then balanced out the time so that you're referring to the sleep studies. Are the kids, is it an appropriate time of the day for them to be in school? Fine. If so, then let's make sure the busing is efficient and that they have the appropriate amount of time in school.
Great. Great. And so what, Dr. Redinger, specifically, what's going to be the change in the instruction time? What will they be filling it up with, those additional 30
Right.
minutes at the elementary level?
And as Dr. Bierman mentioned, the lack of being able to time to teach science, social studies, additional literacy, mathematics skills. So that will fill that time. There was a big need to have more time. And so you'll see a variety of things filling that time at each school, but really a focus on those subjects that we've not been able to completely teach.
And I think
So-
a key to that is there's been some strategic effort by the district to ensure that we're not just wasting that 30 minutes or 2.5 hours per week, that we provide the focus and the resources for the students. But the flexibility is each principal and teaching staff can decide based on their students and how things are going at their building, what do they need to focus on? So there's been some flexibility as
Yes.
in order to how to approach,
Yes.
what will the teachers do with those 30 minutes?
But it's quality instruction time.
It's not extra recess.
It's not extra recess.
That-
Kids
that
love
was-
recess,
That
but
was
this
the
is.
board mandate for sure.
Yes.
Great. Thank you all for that update. It's now time to take some of our questions that we've received. The very first one we get is from a listener who says, I heard there's going to be a new district-wide school supply list next year. Is that true?
Well, we started working on a pared down school supply list because it was so varied school to school. So we do have that we will be sharing in the fall, and before the fall actually, the summer. And so we've been working hard with some of our local vendors, stores. Some of the old lists they kind of keep putting out. So we'll be working with them to help us with that. And then if individual teachers want some special extra things, then they will be working at their site with that. But we're trying to do that so that we don't have some schools with $50 and some are 10. And as we've received some new money for additional funds from the state for materials, supplies, et cetera, we've been trying to give more money to the building-based budgets to help with that.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, we do a lot of crabbing about the state not providing the resources for the basic ed that they're supposed to be, but this is one case where and I think it's true, they hadn't been for a long time, and that's part of what had led to some of those school supply lists getting bigger and bigger and bigger. As we've now started receiving some more funding from the state for that particular reason, it seems appropriate to make sure that we're not still having excessively long lists and putting those expenses onto the state where they were supposed to be, and not expecting families to have to provide more and more of those resources. So I think we'll see some changes for next year.
Great. Cheryl had asked us, where can I find graduation dates and times for my granddaughter's upcoming graduation?
So we do have them on each school website, but I do know we're updating our district website, and we'll have all of those on there. We have a little chart that has locations and times, so that will be on our website.
And every high school by now should probably know exactly their spot and time where they're going to be doing that. I'm kind of surprised her daughter didn't realize, her granddaughter, I guess, didn't know exactly when. They usually do. Let's see here. Craig asked, my son went to Sacagawea camp last summer, a summer camp, and are you offering that again this year?
Yes, we already have the brochure ready, and so it will be out in schools very soon. I've seen the draft copy, and it's ready to go. We'll be offering those classes. We had such positive feedback, and so that will be during July, I think the last week of June, all of July, and then the beginning of August. And so we're very excited about offering those camps again with the focus on STEM. And we do have those at a variety of our middle schools this summer.
And STEM for those who don't have children in our schools?
Science, technology, engineering, and math.
Areas that need. And we're going to have those throughout the city?
Yes.
The STEM camps?
And they're for all ages, not necessarily, even though they're based at a middle school, they're for the young children as well, our elementary children.
So I can't go?
No, you can't. You can help teach if you want.
And there's a wide variety of camps and classes and so forth. So some are extensive for several weeks, some are 1 week, some are sports related, others are academic related, some are, I'd say, cultural arts type. So
I remember seeing an underwater robotics course as one of the offerings last year. I remember seeing.
That was on the list. Yep.
That was a popular one. We have another question, and it says, my daughter's teacher told me that the district is going to offer a dual language school. Is that true? And where will it be? And how do I enroll in that?
Well, that's one of the options that we're currently looking at developing. That was a proposal that was brought to the board, and so far we've said go forward and develop this further. We don't have a definite location yet, but yes, we are looking at doing it, not for this fall, but perhaps in the fall of 16 we would
earliest.
start. Yeah, and start with very elementary, like kindergarten, first grade, and then build from there.
we don't even have the language chosen or
Right.
how many sites there would be. I mean, we've had general discussion, and staff is, as Sue was just saying, developing proposals.
So we don't have the language chosen yet, or?
Yeah. If it does become an option in the district, the enrollment for that would be online, just like all of our other option programs and choice programs, which we started doing online this year, and from what I heard, worked very, very well online. So that would be the process via which people would apply to take part in it.
Exciting, exciting.
It is.
Griffin asked, he must have heard about our transportation question. I noticed your district doesn't run their own buses, but contracts that to another company. Why is that?
efficiency. There are two different models you can use. One is where you purchase your own buses, hire your own staff, purchase the gasoline, run the operation yourself. So you have to have a maintenance facility, garage, etc. So you can either invest in that and manage that yourself, or you can seek the services of private industry that's already set up to handle that. And both models work well. Both models are approved by the state and work all across the country. We've looked at that. I've been on the board more than 15 years. I don't know how many years, but we've looked at that from time to time, and each time we've looked at it, it's always come out, no, it's much better to stick with the contract basis, and then we can go out to bid. So there are various companies across the country that work with school districts and offer their services, and then it's a matter of selecting the best deal. So there are lots of reasons why we do what we do. I haven't given you all of them, but it's something that's well considered by staff and then comes to the board and decisions are made.
And to be honest, one of the reasons you might think you would want to do it yourself is so you had more flexibility, more freedom to tweak the bus system around whatever changes you wanted to make as a district. This past year, as we were trying to plan the time schedule changes and the transportation changes around it, the company Durham that we work with has been phenomenal trying to work with us. I don't think we've felt like there's been any loss of efficiency or flexibility and able to put together a model that works well for our district. And then on their outfitting buses, we've got the latest cameras and stuff on our buses. So it's been a great fit for our district.
And I think their experience, any bus companies or transportation companies experience nationwide, they have so many more examples to work with and understand that they truly do know what works best for, the layout of our district, the size of our district, that if we were trying to do it ourselves, we wouldn't have that expertise to glean from. So we wanted to, we focus on what the school district does best, which is teaching children, and they focus on what they do best, which is transporting children.
There's a lot of moving parts, so to speak, on
parts.
in those bus systems with the various schedules of elementary, middle, high school, and then special needs students too.
Yeah.
So it is I know it's quite a big machine that they have to do. And about a third of our students take the bus, I believe. About 7,000 or 8,000 ride the bus every day. So that is going to bring us to the end of our time together, and I want to thank you for joining us, and our school board members and superintendent for joining us. This program will be run again on Channel 17 at 8:30 a.m., 1 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. daily, beginning Monday, April 6th. And you can also see this and other Spokane Public School programs at spokaneschools.org/stories. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you again for watching tonight.